Okay, I'm Ray from New Design, and I'm making this video because we had a customer, a good friend, Christine Garty, call and want to know how to adjust hinges, and I actually didn't know how to adjust the hinges. I know that they adjust up, down, in, out, and side to side, so I figured that I would simply make a little video and figure it out on my own. So I spent the last couple of minutes doing this. You'd think that being in the business and knowing what I know, I would already know this, but I honestly don't. But if you're looking at the hinge, you want to stay away from the hinge or the screws that actually are attaching the hinge to the cabinet, which this is the cup of the hinge that is actually embedded into the door. These two screws hold the hinge into the door, so those are not adjustment screws. Now there's one other hinge screw that is not an adjustment screw that actually holds the other part of the hinge onto the face frame of the cabinet, which is the cabinet or the screw that's closest to the outside of the frame and it's usually a different color. It's more silver, and it doesn't match the other adjustment screws that are in here. So there's three adjustment screws, one on the face of the hinge on the frame and two that are on the hinge that are on the inside of the face frame. One is slightly more recessed than the other. Starting with the screw that's on the face frame, this is going to allow the hinge to be adjusted left and right. So if you're looking at the door when the door is closed and you need something to be tweaked, if you've got to reveal that something is a little bit cockeyed, this will adjust that. That's going to move the hinge. The hinge is going to move the door left, and it's going to move the door right. You can move both hinges left or both hinges right, or adjust it accordingly simply by turning the hinge. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to adjust one. As you can see now, this reveal is very similar to being the same on the top and the bottom. I'm going to adjust by simply turning this screw on the face. I'm going to pull this one all the way in, and this one I'm going to push all the way out, just to show how I've made a larger reveal here and a tighter reveal on this side. So I've cocked the door that way. So again, I can do them both at the same time equally to pull the whole door left or the whole door right. So that's the purpose of the first hinge, the hinge adjustment screw. The second one is the one that's on the surface, the one that's not recessed, and that one is going to, this one's probably used more than any of them, because I've noticed on my doors at home that sometimes my door rubs the frame. This is what we're calling the face frame of the cabinet. The door sometimes rubs my face frame, and this hinge adjustment actually takes and moves the door either closer to the face frame or further away from the face frame. So by turning that left or right, you can see that it moves the door further, so there's more daylight between the door and the face frame now. I'm going to tighten it back up, and you'll see that gap will disappear or get less. So that is the purpose of that hinge screw adjustment. And then the final one is going to make the door go up and down. Now this is difficult because if you don't move both hinge adjustments up or both hinge adjustments down, you're really kind of working or tugging against each other. But this bottom and furthest screw to the inside of the face frame is going to adjust the hinge up or down. So if your door on the face frame needs to be adjusted slightly up to match a door next to it, or slightly down, those are the adjustments. It has a small, probably 1/8" adjustment for the door to go up or down. So there again, you've got the face frame screw that adjusts the door left and right for adjustment and alignment, and you have the hinge that adjusts the door up and down, and then in and out. I'm sorry for the gap between if you're getting any rubbing of the door onto the frame. So that's hinge adjustment 101. I think Kim has something here to add that I must have missed.
No, you said something about the top screw, which it's not always on the top.
Well, that's true. It shouldn't say the top screw, because this cabinet here is a left hinge cabinet. Now this hinge is a right hinge cabinet, so that screw I was referring to, the top screw, is actually not necessarily a top screw, but it's actually the furthest one out on the inside of the face frame adjustment. This one is further back in. So the one that is out adjusts the door again, away from the face frame, creating a bigger gap, and eliminates the rubbing, and the other hinge adjusts the doors up and down. So,
The end.
there you go.
Smile.
Thanks.